This is my 1994 BMW 5 Series, but instead of sending it to the junkyard, we are turning it into the ultimate road trip machine.
We need to paint, fix and repair anything wrong with this car in 4 weeks or by Christmas hopefully in under 3.5 grand.
But it is now May of 2025 and it still looks like this.
It is now May of 2025 and it has been under a cover since then, primed, ready to go.
But before I show you the end result, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning and see where it started.
This is the cheapest BMW with rego in Australia. How much did we pay for it, Jeremy?
$2,000 for this
$2,000. Now you're probably thinking, that's a lot of money. It isn't, unfortunately.
Ever since I was a kid, I have been obsessed with these old BMWs. So when the cheapest BMW in Australia popped up on Facebook Marketplace, and it happened to be an E34, we just had to buy it.
Nice car. What's the retail on one of those?
$2,000.
Since then, I've put a poll up on my Instagram to see what you guys wanted to see us turn this car into. Now, there are plenty of restoration videos of old BMWs everywhere on the internet, so we wanted to do something slightly different.
So we are in fact Raptor coating this whole BMW. So if you don't know what this is bed liner, and a lot of you are gonna cringe at this and be like, why the hell would you Raptor coat a perfectly good BMW? Well, it's not a perfectly good BMW. It was the cheapest one we could find and it was pretty messed up. So we're going to turn it into pretty much the ultimate camper touring car and bedline this whole car. We've also got a few extra mods to add to it, including roof racks, front bonnet protector, a GME radio and a bunch of other goodies, so stay tuned for that.
One of my all-time favorite hobbies is road tripping and camping, so I wanted to be able to do it in something a little different, an old BMW that was kitted out to be the ultimate tourer.
What is wrong with our $2,000 supercar?
Okay, let's start with a door, alright? So it's good.
Oh, it actually
She's a bit alright. You've got a bit of that. See this? So like that doesn't work. Where's the indicator? That doesn't work.
We don't need it anyway because it's a BMW, right?
Yeah, no way. Oh, how did I miss? Alright, so that, you show them the part that's bad.
Oh, brother!
That, we're gonna go there now. The whole car is just sandpaper, alright? Like look, paint came off on my hand from just rubbing it. The inside's actually pretty good. It has got a like Phillips screw holding up whatever that is. Should be right. Sunroof is saggier than a grandma's son. That's not good. Well, you got these 2 cables coming out the back. I don't know if that's considered broken. More like weight reduction if you ask me. Inside, everything else, pretty good. Except that door card is falling off. Who gives a shit? It's like 30 years old. Now, let's look how many bodies we can fit in this fucking boot, eh?
Oh, we need to fix struts too. As you can tell, everything mechanically is immaculate, including the suspension. Oh.
Now, despite our sarcasm, this car honestly didn't need a whole lot to be in decent drivable condition. And despite this car nearly having 300,000 Ks on the clock, its 3-litre V8 was holding up pretty good, minus a pretty bad exhaust leak.
But what you guys really want to know is how does this thing sound and how does it drive? This is the first startup on a 1994 absolute pile of shit BMW 530. Oh yeah. You hear that? Window doesn't work. Whoa. So now is the real test. Will it brake?
Can we open the sunroof?
No.
Please.
No.
What?
You did not put your window the whole way down. Are you serious?
Mine works. I've used it like 4 times.
Okay, good. At least the front works. Who cares about the back? This car has 260,000 Ks on it. Oh my God, if we break down, I'm gonna... Well, I'm on a main road.
Is this for real?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Nah.
Wow.
That was put down.
Wow.
Absolutely nowhere. With the car leaving a big fat smile on all the boys' faces, we get to working on fixing some of the little things. How excited are you to vacuum, Jeremy?
I am so excited to vacuum 30 years of ass fluff and out of this car. It's been a while.
We have cleaned it with a vacuum. Now we're gonna make an attempt at cleaning the leather and fixing some of the grime and mold on the inside, because there is a bunch all over the speakers, all over the seats. It's pretty gross.
You know what else is f***ing gross? There is nothing coming off. It is actually pretty f***ing clean.
Really? Next week is paint week, so we have to get this car ready. We have a tent, we have all the paint tools, and it's gonna be a disaster, but it's gonna be fun. So now is the hard part. We have to actually put up the spray booth to sand the rest of the car and drive the car into it. So hopefully it fits under here, otherwise we're gonna be in the sun on a 30-degree day.
We are doing this whole build in a driveway in a $400 Big W paint tent.
So this tent took a bit to figure out, but we now have it the right way. We have to mount it down into the grass and then constantly run the blower while we're in it, sanding it. So it is going to be a bit noisy, and it is pretty big, so it kind of just fits under this carport.
But the goal of this project is to show that if you set your mind to it, you can achieve anything, including painting an entire car in a couple weeks with absolutely zero experience.
This is the new fender to replace that horribly dented one on the driver's side. Since this fender is already off the car, we're going to start sanding this one first, just to make sure all the tools that I have bought are indeed correct. Step one is to remove this blinker out of here so we don't damage it. This has come out better than I expected. It is super smooth so far, but we still have to prime it before we paint it and then see how that turns out. But so far, this panel is looking pretty decent. So apart from the fact that we look like we're in Breaking Bad, we have the car in the paint tent and we're about to start sanding.
So we're starting off with a 60 grit, just like before.
If anyone is wondering why we are sanding in a paint tent, it's so I don't get dust all over my parents' yard and house.
We now have assistance from Jeremy. He has arrived. We have almost done the entire hood. I look like Walter White. Jeremy's feet are out and we are sweating. We are absolutely sweating. I'm sure you can see how red I am. All right, we have ended the day with me dripping in sweat, but we have taken the old fender off. We had to do a bit of a dodgy and actually cut off one of the joins because we cannot get to it as it's been riveted on. So we're going to make a new join for the new fender. How do you feel after today's hard work, Jeremy?
I just got assaulted by a dog.
Oh. I am dripping in sweat. All right, we're back on the second day. It is so humid today. About to sweat our balls off again to sand the rest of this car down. As you would have just seen, we've already taken the fender off. But that was a bit of a disaster, you could say. We actually had to cut the aluminium off because someone has riveted a whole bunch of stuff in and we don't have a rivet remover, whatever you call it.
I want to emphasize the fact that this is not going to be a showroom quality car. We are attempting to build the ultimate road trip machine, and painting such a big car on a budget in this tiny tent is quite difficult.
We are now done sanding the car. I am exhausted. We are hosing down the car now, and hopefully next weekend it'll be ready to paint.
And just like that, we had completed 2 full days of working on the car and sanding it down. There is still a lot more to be done and a lot of stubborn paint to get off.
We're here with
Charlotte,
and we are spraying for the 3rd day, well, not in a row. For you it's in a row, but not for me. It's been a week. This thing is sat underneath the garage at the bottom, and now we're working on probably the 3rd. We have to go over pretty much the whole car again, which is unfortunate, and then maybe we can start painting, but we'll see.
I look like a little boy. That feels so much better already. Oh, that's you're gonna have to really get that out.
So after 3 full days of sanding, we now have only the roof and the boot remaining to remove all the stubborn paint off them.
Alright, we are officially back and it is paint day today. It is another 30+ degree day. We have the car ready, we got the paint suits on.
Now, despite our plan to Raptor coat this car, we did still prime the entire car in order to get a flat layer to work with.
So I know this car isn't fully sanded down everywhere, but honestly, we only have till about early next year to work on this, so we don't want to spend another 3 or 4 days straight sanding this down to bare metal.
Now, obviously, there are much better and more effective ways of removing old paint off a car, but remember, we are doing this in my parents' driveway in the middle of the suburbs, so I cannot use paint thinner and douse the absolute hell out of the car like we probably should have done.
As you can see, Jeremy had an oopsie and this whole corner.
Unfortunately, Jeremy had actually reversed his car into the corner of the Beamer one afternoon, so we had to fix that little mistake.
To fix this damage by gluing some parts together and then bondoing over them. Will this be professional? Absolutely not. Will it look terrible? Probably. Can we live with it? 100% we can live with it, because this car deserves... Oh, it smells like tuna. What? It smells like tuna.
We only just started, but we have to stop for an energy drink break because it's so hot and neither of us have had coffee yet. What the f, Jeremy?
Hope that makes the video.
Now have our energy for today.
Once again, we use the front guard as a test panel before priming the rest of the car.
So we're gonna make sure we get everything correct in the priming process by starting with this fender. But first we have to wash all the dust off it because we haven't yet from sanding. In case anyone doesn't believe us that it's like 35 degrees today, it's pretty much already dry. And it's been here for literally maybe a minute. That is literally how hot it is.
When we started this project, it was the middle of Australian summer, so for all you Aussies, you know how hot it gets.
So first we have some primer filler. We're going to go over this in. We're going to try and do about 2 or 3 layers on the whole car pretty much, but we have to mix this with thinner, which Jeremy's going to do, and then we should be ready to put it through the air gun.
So now that the first front guard was done, we can get on to the rest of the car.
I've just spent about 20 straight minutes doing the hood and I'm about to pass out from paint fumes. I think it's food time. I'm gonna pass out from those fumes. I think we're done for today.
And the next day we got straight back into it, finishing most of the car.
And we now have help of the big man Noah. He's back there. Put up the tent again and we're gonna get painting because I bought 4 more liters of paint and some more thinner.
The priming process is pretty long and boring, so I'm gonna fast track a lot of this so you can see some of the results.
Since it's another like 30 something degree day and I just got back from work, Jeremy is attempting to fix the damage on the front of the bumper with the shitty Bondo that we got. Has come out all right. We can prime over this, see how it looks.
We could put a bit more Bondo in there and try and build it out.
Yeah.
Because I built in there and it actually came out pretty good. You can't tell with that crap.
It's not too bad.
Every job on this car has been a learning curve, and every little mistake along the way will just make for better memories. Because despite its imperfections, we will look back on this project as one of the most interesting and fun times of our lives.
So close to you right now.
Alright, today we are fixing this massive hole because somebody shoved cardboard in there to seal it last time.
I wish I got a picture of the original piece that was connected to the bumper, because it was a piece of cardboard shoved in there with the original plastic on top and super glued. That was it. So clearly we weren't the only ones to DIY this car.
So nearly 6 months ago now, we promised to have this car transformed by Christmas of 2024. It is now May of 2025 and it has been under a cover since then, primed, ready to go, and now we are actually painting it. And we're also going to try and paint the whole car today.
But like I mentioned earlier, we will be Raptor coating this, which is just essentially bed liner, a much more durable paint.
This car has been sitting for almost 6 months. We obviously are probably going to have to jump jump started. I did disconnect the battery, but I highly doubt it's going to start without a jump pack. This is the Exito jump pack, which I showed in the last video. We used it to start farm truck of our mates on the farm we were out last on, and it worked very well. It was the only one that actually jumped it. But first, before we use it, we're going to see if there's any life left in this car. Keys in the ignition, the battery's disconnected.
Obviously, the smart solution would have been to have the battery on a trickle charger, but I do not have a trickle charger, so unfortunately this is our best option.
Ready for the moment of truth? Nothing.
Not even a buzz, not even a fuck you.
Nope, just a nothing. All right, attempt number 2. Not bad.
But unfortunately, we figured out pretty quickly that it was running solely off the jump pack. The battery seems to be completely dead. We will try and revive it, but that's for a later time.
Boom! That's definitely not 8 cylinders, by the way. This is a 3-litre V8. It's currently not running on 8 cylinders.
So now begins the fun part that we have been waiting so long for, the actual painting of the car.
About to open the hardener for the Raptor coat, which we have to mix in the other bottle so that it sets properly. Is locked in right now. I want to emphasize the fact we've never painted a car before and we've never Raptor coated before. So this is all new experience, all doing it for a learning process and just for fun.
While Raptor Coat is an easier and more durable alternative to normal paint, working with it is like working with wet tar. Anything you touch, it just sticks to and it is like glue. And you also cannot wait in between coats. You need to do it all very quickly as it clogs up the gun super easy, which we found out later on the hard way.
So I know it's a bit noisy, but this is how it's going so far. Honestly, it looks pretty good. I can't lie. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Now we're not 100% complete, but the hood is now dry and we've installed this pretty cool new bonnet protector, which is actually leather. So I hope this kind of holds up in the heat. The car looks quite good in my opinion, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate on this. I don't care. If you wanna go and restore your own E34, do that. We wanna take this thing on road trips. We wanna get it scratched up. It's easy to fix with Raptor Coat. No, it's not a show car, but at least it's gonna get driven, it's gonna get used, it's gonna get repaired mechanically, and it's not gonna sit under a cover in the driveway anymore.
But my E34 is by no means finished yet.
One of the last pieces of the puzzle is to put all the front new grills back on and then the guard as well, and then we have the roof racks to go on.
Now this is a V8 E34, so it's meant to have a wider front grille, but for some reason it came with a narrow front grille. And when I ordered the new one at the time, I did not realize there was a difference, so we are sticking with the narrow grille. So as you can see, I'm replacing the old plastics on the front with the new ones that we got off a wrecked car that were in a lot better condition. We've also got a new trim piece to go over it and secure everything in place.
Now we have to get this on. That's gonna be fun.
Getting the fitment right on this wasn't too hard. We had to move and bend a few things, but other than that, it was pretty easy. I painted the front grille surround in a flat black, then went over it in a clear coat so it stood out a bit from the Raptor coat. And ignore all the dirt and dust on the front, it was just from us working on it. Then we ended up putting the windshield wipers back on, but before we did that, we removed all the old plastics, sprayed over them and cleaned them all up nice so they look presentable.
So we're just cleaning a bunch of dirt out of these seams in this thing. We vacuumed out this whole sill and look at how good it's come up. This was like this everywhere, and now it is so shiny, so makes a difference. But as you can see, unfortunately, I think this is meant to be a bottom seal, but it's rotted away, or maybe not, but there was a lot of stuff there and it kind of crumbled out. And I want to know what you guys think we should put on the car, chrome grills or black grills, because at the moment we've got chrome and I think we're going to stick to that, but if they look really bad, we'll paint them black. Now we have the roof racks to add to the car.
Now I realize adding roof racks and a bonnet protector doesn't make this car anything special, but there's only so much I can do in one video, so stay tuned for the full process and all the mods we add to this car in upcoming videos. And now, after 6 months, my vision for this car is finally coming to life.